What if I told you there's a way to speak to a woman that changes everything? Not just what she thinks about you, but how she feels about you, how much she values your presence, and even how much she misses you when you're gone. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to try too hard to stand out. And you definitely don't need to rely on cheap tactics or superficial charm. High-value men don't play those games. They use a completely different approach, one that is subtle, intentional, and rooted in timeless wisdom and cutting-edge psychology. Think about this. Most men walk into conversations without a plan. They're either seeking validation or approval, or worse, they're spilling out every thought in their head, hoping to impress. But women can sense this instantly. Desperation isn't attractive. Validation seeking isn't memorable. And when your words lack precision, you're just another voice in the crowd. But the high-value man, he operates on another level. He speaks with a presence that commands attention, not because he's loud, but because he's deliberate. His words are chosen with care, his silences are calculated, and his energy radiates confidence and control. It's not about impressing her, it's about leaving her intrigued, wondering what's beneath the surface, wondering why she feels drawn to you. This isn't just communication, it's influence. And once you master it, you won't just have her attention, you'll have her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Here's the secret. High-value communication combines two powerful elements. First, it's rooted in the ancient discipline of Stoicism, the ability to control your emotions, remain composed under pressure, and project an air of calm confidence. And second, it uses the principles of dark psychology, not manipulation, but influence. It's about understanding how subtle shifts in tone, pacing, and phrasing can create a deep emotional connection. Together, these two philosophies make your words magnetic. They'll linger in her mind, making her crave your presence even when you're not around. Imagine the power of speaking in a way that sparks curiosity instead of giving everything away. Imagine being the kind of man who doesn't need to chase, because the way you communicate naturally draws people toward you. That's the level we're talking about here. That's what you'll learn today on Stoic Blessing. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to speak in a way that sets you apart. You'll understand the mindset, the techniques, and the strategies that high-value men use to create intrigue, build desire, and make women miss them. This isn't surface-level advice. It's a blueprint for transforming how you carry yourself in every interaction. Now, before we dive deeper, I want you to do two things for me. First, I want you to make a declaration in the comments below. Write, "My words are my power." Why? Because claiming this truth is the first step to embodying it. High-value communication starts with a mindset shift, and this small action can set the tone for your journey. Second, smash that like button if you're ready to level up your interactions and show some love to this community of growth and discipline. Take a moment to do that now. Are you ready to step into the mindset of a high-value man? Let's go. Let's talk about the power of words. Most people underestimate how much weight their words carry. They talk without thinking, react without purpose, and communicate without intention. But here's the truth. Words are not just tools. They are weapons, instruments, and bridges. They can cut through resistance, build connections, and leave lasting impressions. And when used correctly, they can create an almost addictive energy around you. High-value men understand this. They don't speak just to fill silence. They speak to influence, to guide, and to connect on a level that others can't. Here's the key principle. Words are more than just sounds. They carry energy, intent, and emotion. The way you speak, your tone, your pacing, your choice of words, communicates far more than the surface meaning of what you're saying. When you're intentional with your words, you can shift the entire dynamic of a conversation. You stop being just another person she's talking to, and you become someone she feels drawn to. someone she wants to understand. Why? Because high-value communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you make her feel. Let's break this down. Think of your words like seeds. A low-value man scatters seeds randomly without care or attention, hoping something grows. But a high-value man plants with precision. He chooses his words carefully, knowing that each one has the power to leave a lasting imprint. When he speaks, he doesn't try to overwhelm her with compliments or stories. Instead, he says just enough to spark curiosity, to make her think, to leave her wondering. His words don't just land, they linger. This is where most men go wrong. They think they need to over-explain, overshare, or prove themselves in every interaction. But overloading a conversation doesn't make you memorable, it makes you forgettable. Think about the last time someone talked too much, said too little of value, or tried too hard to impress. How did that feel? Exhausting, right? High-value men understand that less is often more. They know that speaking with intention and restraint doesn't make them mysterious. It makes them magnetic. Another key point: women don't just hear your words, they feel them. When you speak with confidence and clarity, she feels your presence. When you speak with purpose, she feels your intention. And when you communicate with calm composure, she feels your strength. This is why high-value communication is grounded in emotional control, which we'll dive deeper into soon. But for now, just remember this: your words are an extension of who you are. If you speak carelessly, it signals a lack of discipline. If you speak intentionally, it signals value. Here's a practical takeaway. Every time you speak, ask yourself, what am I trying to create with my words? Am I trying to connect, to inspire, to spark curiosity? Or am I just filling space? High-value men speak with clarity and purpose. They don't over-explain. They let their words carry enough weight to spark interest without giving everything away. This is how you plant the seeds of intrigue, making her want more, not just of the conversation, but of you. Now, let's bring this back to you. If you're ready to start speaking with power and purpose, I want you to take a moment and comment below. I choose my words with intention. Why? Because your words reflect your mindset. By making this declaration, you're taking the first step toward mastering how you communicate. And if you're finding value in this so far, don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs it. You're not just watching this for entertainment. You're here to transform how you show up in every interaction. Let's keep going. Now let's talk about the foundation of high-value communication: composure. Without it, nothing else matters. You can have the smoothest words, the sharpest wit, and the most well-crafted lines. But if your energy is erratic or desperate, none of it will land. Here's the truth. Women are incredibly perceptive. They don't just listen to your words, they read your energy. They feel the tension in your voice, notice the shift in your tone, and sense when you're off balance. High-value men know this, which is why they never let emotions control the way they speak. Instead, they master the art of Stoic composure. What does this mean in practice? It means remaining calm, grounded, and in control of yourself no matter what. Imagine you're in a conversation and something unexpected happens. Maybe she teases you, maybe she challenges you, or maybe there's an awkward silence. A low-value man panics. He scrambles to fill the space, reacts defensively, or loses his cool. But a high-value man, he stays centered. He doesn't flinch, doesn't overreact, and doesn't let the moment dictate his behavior. This kind of calm confidence isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. Why? Because composure signals strength. It shows her that you're not easily shaken, that you're comfortable in your own skin, and that you don't need external validation to feel secure. And this isn't just about being stoic for the sake of it. It's about creating an energy that draws her in. When you're composed, you create a space of stability and calm that makes her feel safe and intrigued. In a world full of chaos, your composure becomes a rare and valuable trait. Let's take a principle straight from Stoic philosophy. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you speak, your composure comes from focusing on what you can control: your tone, your words, your reactions. You can't control how she responds, and you shouldn't try to. High-value men don't chase outcomes. They focus on the process, and the process starts with mastering your inner world. One powerful way to develop this composure is to slow down. Most men rush through conversations because they're nervous or eager to impress, but speaking quickly signals a lack of confidence. High-value men, on the other hand, are deliberate. They take their time. Their words come out measured, their tone steady, and their pacing confident. This not only makes you sound more composed, but it also gives her time to absorb what you're saying, and in that space, curiosity grows. Another tool for composure is embracing silence. Most people are terrified of silence in conversations. They feel the need to fill every gap with words. But silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use. When you pause, you show that you're in control. You're comfortable with the space, and you're giving her time to process and respond. That calm, unhurried energy sets you apart from the crowd. Here's a challenge for you. The next time you're in a conversation, focus on staying calm no matter what. Speak slowly, pause intentionally, and don't rush to fill every silence. If she challenges you, smile and take a moment before responding. If there's a lull, let it sit. It's in these moments that your composure shines. And here's your declaration for this section. I want you to comment below, I master my emotions. Why? Because high-value communication starts with mastering yourself. When you declare this, you're not just saying it, you're embodying it. And if this resonates with you, hit that like button right now to let me know you're ready to level up your energy and composure. Let's move forward, because now we're going to talk about one of the most intriguing tools in the arsenal of high-value men, the scarcity effect. This is where your words and your presence become even more powerful. Now let's talk about one of the most fascinating psychological principles that high-value men use effortlessly, the scarcity effect. This isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. It's about understanding one of the most powerful forces in human behavior. People value what feels rare, what feels exclusive, and what they feel they might lose. High-value men don't just know this, they live it. They've mastered the art of making their words and their presence feel like something truly special. Here's the problem most men face. They're too available. They over-communicate. They flood conversations with texts, compliments, and constant availability, thinking it will make her like them more. But in reality, it does the opposite. When you're always there, you become predictable. And when you're predictable, you become easy to take for granted. Think about it. When was the last time you truly valued something you knew you could have whenever you wanted? Scarcity creates value, and value creates attraction. High-value men understand that their words, their time, and their attention are their most precious resources. They don't give them away freely. They choose when to engage, how much to share, and when to step back. This doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It's about having a clear sense of your own worth. When you know your value, you don't feel the need to overcompensate or prove yourself. Instead, you allow her to feel the weight of your presence and the impact of your absence. Here's how this works in conversation. High-value men don't rush to respond to every message or question. They don't bombard her with endless texts or try to fill every silence. Instead, they use their words sparingly, choosing quality over quantity. They say just enough to spark curiosity and leave her wanting more. And when they step back, whether it's by pausing in the conversation or taking time to respond, they create a space for her to miss them. That space is where attraction grows. But the scarcity effect isn't just about words, It's also about your presence. High-value men aren't overly available because they're genuinely busy building their lives. They're pursuing their goals, refining their skills, and cultivating their purpose. When you're focused on your own growth, your attention naturally becomes scarce, and that makes it even more valuable. It shows her that while you're interested in her, you're not dependent on her for your happiness or sense of worth. That's a rare and magnetic energy. Now, let me give you a powerful analogy. Think of your presence like a luxury item. Luxury brands don't flood the market with their products. They create exclusivity. They make you feel like owning their product is a privilege, not a given. High-value men apply the same principle. They don't make themselves overly available. They make their attention feel like a privilege. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being intentional and selective about how you show up. So how do you implement the scarcity effect? First, stop over-communicating. Resist the urge to text her all the time or fill every silence with words. Instead, focus on making every interaction meaningful. Second, prioritize your own life. The more you invest in your goals, passions, and growth, the more natural scarcity becomes. And finally, embrace the power of absence. When you step back, you create a space for her to miss you. And that space is where desire and curiosity grow. Now it's your turn. If you're ready to start valuing your words and your presence, I want you to comment below, "I make my presence rare and valuable." Why? Because when you claim it, you start living it. And if this idea resonates with you, smash that like button right now. Let me know you're serious about stepping into your power and mastering the art of scarcity. Coming up next, we're diving into one of the most overlooked tools in communication, the power of silence. This is where your ability to create impact takes an even sharper edge. Let's keep going. Let's talk about one of the most underrated yet incredibly powerful tools in your communication arsenal: silence. Most men don't know how to use it. In fact, they fear it. The idea of an awkward pause in a conversation makes them anxious, so they fill the space with rambling, oversharing, or pointless chatter. But here's the truth. Silence is not awkward. It's powerful. And high-value men know how to wield it with precision, turning what most see as a weakness into an undeniable strength. Why is silence so powerful? Because it creates space. Space for her to think, to feel, and to respond. When you're silent, you shift the focus from yourself to her. And in that space, something interesting happens. She starts filling the gap. She starts revealing more about herself, opening up and investing more in the conversation. Silence isn't just the absence of words. It's the presence of control. It shows that you're comfortable with the moment, that you don't need to rush, and that you're confident enough to let the interaction breathe. Think about it. Most people are uncomfortable with silence because it forces them to sit with their own thoughts. But when you can embrace it, you send a powerful message. You show that you're not desperate for her attention or validation. You're in control of the pace, and you're completely at ease with the natural rhythm of the conversation. This kind of calm, collected energy is rare and incredibly attractive. Silence also amplifies the weight of your words. When you speak sparingly and with intention, every word carries more impact. It's like a song. If every note is loud, the melody becomes noise. But when the notes are spaced out, with pauses in between, they stand out. Your words work the same way. By allowing silence to frame your statements, you give her time to absorb and reflect on what you've said. And in that reflection, your words linger, creating a deeper connection. Here's another way to think about it. Silence is like the space between brush strokes on a painting. Without it, the picture becomes cluttered and chaotic. But with it, the details stand out, and the composition becomes beautiful. High-value men use silence to highlight their presence, to let their words land, and to create an air of mystery that draws people in. Now, let's talk about how to use silence effectively in your interactions. First, practice pausing before you respond. When she asks you a question or makes a comment, don't rush to answer. Take a breath, think about what you want to say, and respond deliberately. This not only makes you seem more thoughtful, but also shows that you're in control of the moment. Second, embrace silence as a tool for creating intrigue. When the conversation slows down, resist the urge to fill the gap. Instead, let it sit. Look her in the eyes, smile slightly, and hold your ground. That unspoken confidence is magnetic. And here's a pro tip. When she says something important, let the silence stretch. Don't rush to reply or change the subject. This shows her that you're truly listening, that her words matter, and that you're not just waiting for your turn to speak. It's in these moments of silence that deeper connections are built. Here's your challenge. The next time you're in a conversation, pay attention to how you use silence. Practice pausing, holding space, and letting the moment unfold naturally. Notice how it changes the dynamic and how much more impactful your words become. If this resonates with you, I want you to take a moment and comment below. I master the power of silence. Why? Because silence is a skill, and when you declare it, you begin to own it. And if this concept is clicking for you, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, the most powerful communication isn't about saying more. It's about saying the right things at the right time and letting silence do the rest. Up next, we'll explore how to use strategic vulnerability to build deeper connections and make her feel truly seen and understood. This is where your words become a bridge to something deeper. Let's dive in. Now let's dive into a concept that separates high-value men from everyone else: strategic vulnerability. Vulnerability has gotten a bad reputation in some circles. Too many men think that opening up makes them look weak, desperate, or overly emotional. But when done the right way, vulnerability is one of the most powerful tools you have. It builds trust, creates connection, and most importantly, shows her that there's depth behind your confidence. But here's the key. Vulnerability must be strategic. High-value men don't overshare or spill their emotions randomly. They use vulnerability with precision, like a key that unlocks deeper bonds. Why does this work? Because women are wired to connect emotionally. They want to feel seen, understood, and valued on a deeper level. But here's the catch. For vulnerability to work, it has to feel authentic, not forced. If you come across as too guarded or emotionally unavailable, she'll feel like she's hitting a wall. On the other hand, if you overshare or unload all your struggles too soon, it can come across as needy or unbalanced. High-value men understand how to walk this fine line, revealing just enough to build connection without losing control of the narrative. Think of vulnerability like showing a crack in your armor, not the whole suit. It's about letting her see a glimpse of your humanity, your struggles, or your values without laying everything bare. For example, sharing a lesson you learned from a challenging experience can make you relatable and grounded. It shows that you've faced difficulties and grown stronger because of them. But notice the difference. You're sharing the strength you gained, not seeking sympathy or validation. That's the distinction between strategic vulnerability and emotional oversharing. Here's a practical way to think about it. Reveal things about yourself that are meaningful but not overwhelming. Maybe it's a story about a risk you took that taught you resilience. Maybe it's a value you hold deeply because of something you experienced in your past. Whatever it is, the focus should always be on what it says about your character, your growth, and your mindset. When you frame your vulnerability this way, it draws her in because it's not just about your story, it's about what it reveals about who you are. Another critical point: vulnerability is about timing. High-value men know when to share and when to hold back. You don't open up fully in the first conversation. You let her earn that level of access to your life. Vulnerability is most impactful when trust has been established and the connection feels mutual. By sharing at the right moments, you create a bond that feels natural and unforced. Here's an example. Imagine you're on a date and she asks about your goals. Instead of giving a surface-level answer, you say something like, "A few years ago, I took a big risk that didn't work out. It taught me a lot about patience and persistence, and now I'm focused on building something I'm really passionate about." Notice how this shows depth without oversharing. It's specific enough to be intriguing, but leaves room for her to ask more if she's interested. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Vulnerability creates reciprocity. When you share something meaningful, it often encourages her to open up as well. This deepens the connection and makes the conversation feel more intimate. It's in these moments that trust is built, and the relationship moves from surface-level attraction to genuine connection. Here's your challenge. Think about one story or value in your life that reflects your growth, your character, or your purpose. Practice framing it in a way that's authentic and confident. And remember, vulnerability isn't about seeking approval. It's about showing who you are at your core. If this resonates with you, take a moment and comment below, "I build trust through strength." Why? Because vulnerability, when used with intention, is a strength, not a weakness. And if this idea is hitting home for you, hit that like button right now and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Vulnerability, when done right, is your superpower. Coming up next, we're going to explore how to subtly frame your conversations to guide her thoughts and emotions without being overt. This is where communication moves from connection to influence. Let's keep going. Now we're stepping into the realm of influence, subtle framing. This is where your words stop being just words and become tools for guiding the conversation, shaping her emotions, and even planting ideas in her mind, all without being obvious about it. High-value men are masters of this. They don't argue or try to convince someone of their point of view directly. Instead, they use subtle, indirect techniques to steer the interaction in a way that feels natural and effortless. And the key here is subtlety. This isn't about manipulation. It's about leading with intention and creating a dynamic where she feels connected and inspired. So, what is framing? Simply put, framing is the way you present information to influence how it's perceived. It's not about changing what you're saying, it's about changing how you say it. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like me?" which puts her in control of the dynamic, you can frame it differently by saying, "I get the feeling we have a really interesting connection. Do you see the difference?" The second statement creates an open, positive frame where she's more likely to agree and engage. High-value men use framing to set the tone of the interaction. They don't let the conversation drift aimlessly or let someone else dictate the energy. Instead, they guide it, subtly leading her toward thoughts and feelings that build connection and intrigue. The best part, when done correctly, framing doesn't feel forced or manipulative. It feels natural. Why? Because it aligns with human psychology. People respond to how information is presented more than the information itself. Here's another example. Let's say you want to know about her values without coming across as intrusive. Instead of asking directly, "What's important to you?" which can feel heavy, you could say, "You seem like someone who really values independence. How did that shape the way you approach life?" By framing the question this way, you're giving her something positive to align with, which makes her more open to sharing. At the same time, you're subtly guiding the conversation toward deeper topics that reveal more about her character. Framing is also powerful when it comes to setting expectations. High-value men don't leave their intentions up to chance. They guide them subtly. For instance, instead of saying, "I don't like drama," you could frame it as, "I'm drawn to people who value honesty and peace of mind. It's such a rare energy these days." Notice how the second statement frames your preferences in a way that feels aspirational and attractive. It doesn't come across as a complaint or a demand. It feels like an invitation to align with your values. Another important aspect of framing is how you handle challenges or disagreements. Low-value men argue. They push back directly and try to win the conversation. High-value men, on the other hand, reframe. Let's say she challenges something you've said. Instead of getting defensive, you could respond with, "That's an interesting perspective. I hadn't thought about it that way before. Tell me more." This reframes the interaction as a collaborative exploration rather than a conflict, making you seem open-minded and confident. And let's not forget the power of framing when it comes to creating emotional connections. When you compliment her, frame it in a way that highlights her character, not just her appearance. Instead of saying, "You look beautiful," you could say, "There's something about your energy tonight that's really captivating." This shifts the focus to something deeper and more meaningful, making the compliment stand out. Here's your challenge. The next time you're in a conversation, pay attention to how you frame your words. Are you asking direct, flat questions, or are you guiding the interaction in a way that creates curiosity and connection? Practice rephrasing statements and questions to set a positive, engaging tone. Now, if this concept of framing is clicking for you, I want you to comment below. I guide conversations with intention. Why? Because subtle framing is one of the most powerful ways to shift from reactive to proactive communication. And if you're finding value in this, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, how you say something matters just as much, if not more, than what you say. Coming up next, we'll explore how to use mirroring and language mastery to deepen connection and build emotional resonance. This is where you take your communication skills to the next level. Let's keep going. Let's take your communication skills to the next level by mastering the art of mirroring and language. These techniques are subtle, yet incredibly effective for building a deep emotional connection with her. High-value men don't just talk. They listen, observe, and adapt. They understand that every interaction is unique, and the best way to connect is to meet her where she is, emotionally and intellectually. This is where mirroring and language mastery come into play. When used correctly, these tools make her feel understood, seen, and completely drawn to you. So, what is mirroring? At its core, mirroring is about subtly reflecting the other person's energy, tone, and style of communication. It's not about copying her, it's about aligning with her. For example, if she's speaking softly and thoughtfully, you match that energy. If she's excited and animated, you bring a similar enthusiasm. This creates a sense of harmony and connection because people are naturally drawn to those who feel familiar and in sync with them. It's psychological. When someone mirrors us, we subconsciously perceive them as more relatable and trustworthy. But mirroring goes beyond tone and energy. It also applies to the words you use. Pay attention to her language, the phrases she repeats, the way she describes her emotions, and the topics she's passionate about. When you reflect her language back to her, it signals that you're truly listening and that you understand her perspective. For example, if she says something like, "I love traveling because it makes me feel free," you can respond with, "Freedom is such a powerful feeling. Where's a place that made you feel the most alive?" This not only mirrors her sentiment, but also deepens the conversation. Here's another way to use language mastery. Adapt your vocabulary to resonate with her interests and values. If she's talking about art, use descriptive language to match her passion. If she's discussing her career, show curiosity and align your questions with her ambition. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about speaking her language in a way that makes her feel understood. One of the most powerful tools in language mastery is paraphrasing. When she shares something important, Repeat it back in your own words with added depth or insight. For example, if she says, "I've been working so hard on my business lately, but it's exhausting," you can respond with, "It sounds like you're pouring everything into building something meaningful. That kind of dedication is rare these days." By paraphrasing, you're showing that you're not just hearing her, you're truly processing what she's saying. Another key technique is the use of sensory language. Pay attention to the sensory words she uses. Does she say things like, "That feels right," "I see what you mean," or "That sounds good"? These phrases reveal her dominant sensory modality, and when you match it, your communication becomes more aligned. For example, if she says, "That feels right," you can respond with, "I can feel where you're coming from." This subtle alignment creates a stronger subconscious bond. Now, let's talk about emotional resonance. High-value men use their language to create emotional experiences. They don't just talk about facts, they evoke feelings. For instance, instead of saying, "That's a cool idea," you might say, "That idea has such a bold and exciting vibe to it." Notice how the second response carries more emotional weight. It's this kind of language that makes conversations memorable and meaningful. Here's a pro tip. Listen for emotional triggers in her stories, the things that light her up or make her reflective, and guide the conversation deeper into those topics. If she lights up talking about her favorite hobby, ask her what she loves most about it. If she shares a meaningful memory, explore what made it special. By using mirroring and language mastery to dive into these emotional depths, you create a connection that goes far beyond surface level. Your challenge is this. In your next conversation, practice active listening and mirroring her tone, energy, and language. Pay attention to the words and emotions she uses and reflect them back with added insight. Notice how the dynamic shifts when she feels truly heard and understood. If this concept of mirroring and language mastery resonates with you, I want you to take a moment and comment below, "I align my words to connect deeply." Why? Because mastering this skill transforms every interaction, making you a person she feels truly connected to. And if this is making sense for you, hit that like button and share this video with someone who could use these insights. Coming up next, we'll explore the dark Stoic mindset, the balance between detachment and intrigue that makes high-value men unforgettable. This is where everything comes together. Let's continue. Now it's time to bring everything together and dive into the essence of what makes high-value men unforgettable, the dark Stoic mindset. This is more than a strategy. It's a way of being. It's the balance between detachment and intrigue, between calm confidence and undeniable magnetism. High-value men don't just communicate differently, they think differently. And this mindset is the foundation of their power, both in how they carry themselves and how they connect with others. So, what is the dark Stoic mindset? At its core, it's the ability to remain detached from outcomes while still being fully engaged in the moment. It's the art of caring deeply about your purpose, your growth, and your presence, but never becoming overly invested in how others respond to you. This detachment doesn't mean indifference, it means freedom. When you're no longer seeking validation or approval, you're free to show up authentically and powerfully. Women sense this immediately. A man with the dark Stoic mindset is calm under pressure, unshaken by challenges, and radiates an energy that says, "I'm here because I choose to be, not because I need to be." This creates intrigue because it's rare. Most men either try too hard to please or completely disconnect emotionally, but a man who can balance composure with intrigue, that's someone who's unforgettable. Let's break it down further. First, detachment. High-value men know they can't control how someone else feels or reacts. What they can control is their own mindset, their own actions, and the energy they bring to the interaction. When you let go of the need to impress or win someone over, you become infinitely more attractive. Why? because you're no longer chasing. You're simply living in alignment with your values, and that alignment is magnetic. Second, intrigue. While detachment keeps you grounded, intrigue keeps her curious. This is where you show just enough of your depth to spark her interest without revealing everything at once. It's about being an open book, but only showing a few of the most intriguing pages at a time. When you combine this with emotional control, you create a dynamic where she wants to learn more about you, to understand what makes you tick, and in that pursuit, she becomes emotionally invested. Here's an example of how the dark Stoic mindset plays out in a conversation. Imagine she asks about your past relationships. A low-value man might overshare, complaining about his exes or trying to justify why things didn't work out. A high-value man with the dark Stoic mindset, however, would respond with calm confidence. He might say, "I've had some meaningful experiences that taught me a lot about what I value in a connection." This response is honest, reflective, and intriguing. It reveals enough to show depth, but leaves room for curiosity. Another key aspect of this mindset is staying grounded in your own purpose. High-value men never make someone else the center of their world. Instead, they invite others into the world they've built. When you're focused on your goals, your passions, and your growth, you naturally exude a sense of purpose that's incredibly attractive. And when you combine that with the ability to remain present in the moment, you become the kind of man who's both inspiring and captivating. Finally, let's talk about emotional control. The dark Stoic mindset is rooted in the ability to manage your emotions and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. If she tests you, flirts with someone else, or creates tension, you stay calm. You don't let your emotions dictate your actions because you understand that your power lies in your control. This composure doesn't just make you seem confident, it shows her that you're different from everyone else. Here's your challenge. Practice the dark Stoic mindset in your next interaction. Stay detached from the outcome, but fully present in the moment. Share just enough of your story to create intrigue, but always leave her wanting more. And above all, stay grounded in your purpose and emotional control. If this resonates with you, take a moment and comment below, "I balance detachment with intrigue." Why? Because living this mindset transforms not just your communication, but your entire presence. And if this idea is connecting with you, smash that like button and share this video with someone who's ready to embody their own dark Stoic mindset. Coming up next, we'll bring it all together with a powerful conclusion and a final call to action. Let's finish strong. You've made it this far, and now it's time to bring everything together. Let's recap the journey we've been on today. You've learned how high-value men speak with purpose, clarity, and intention. You've uncovered the secrets of Stoic composure, the scarcity effect, the power of silence, strategic vulnerability, subtle framing, mirroring, and mastering language, all grounded in the transformative dark Stoic mindset. But here's the thing, knowledge alone isn't power. It's the action you take with that knowledge that changes everything. Let me leave you with a powerful thought. The way you communicate is a reflection of who you are. Your words, your energy, your presence, they're all extensions of your inner world. High-value men understand that their growth begins within. It's not just about learning techniques, it's about embodying the mindset of a man who knows his worth, who speaks with confidence, and who lives with intention. This is the journey you're on now, and it's one that will transform not just how you speak, but how you show up in every area of your life. So, what's next? It's time to practice. Start small. In your next conversation, use a pause to let your words land. Frame a question to guide the interaction in a meaningful way. Mirror her energy and language to create a stronger connection. Share a story that reveals your depth without oversharing. And above all, stay grounded in your purpose, detached from outcomes, but fully present in the moment. These small shifts, practiced consistently, will make a massive difference. But let's take this one step further. You're not just someone who watches videos, you're someone who takes action. I want you to make a declaration in the comments below right now. I speak with intention, confidence, and control. Why? Because declaring it makes it real. It's a commitment to yourself to step into the high-value man you're becoming. And if you've found value in this video, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button to let me know this content is helping you. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message, a friend, a brother, or someone in your circle who's ready to level up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to refine your mindset and communication skills. This is just the beginning of your journey. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. The world is full of noise, people talking without intention, chasing validation and trying to fit in. But you're choosing a different path. You're choosing to speak with purpose, to stand out through your presence, and to connect on a deeper level. That makes you rare, that makes you high value, and that makes you unstoppable. Thank you for being part of this community here at Stoic Blessing. Remember, your words are your power. Use them wisely, live with intention, and stay grounded in the mindset of a high-value man. Until next time, keep growing, keep speaking with purpose, and keep living your truth. I'll see you in the next video.